Cody Wilkinson, singer Traitors Gate. We are at the Sit Down Podcast.
Episode 109
I'm sure it is.
or 110.
Episode.
Dustin Carlton, bass player, Traitors Gate. Thanks for having us.
Okay, I'm Derek Sand. I'm the drummer for Traitors Gate, and you're on the Sit Down Podcast.
I'm Byron Mattice. I'm the guitar player for Traitors Gate, and you're on the Sit Down Podcast.
I guess I should have your mic. Get COVID on it. You should have said the last person that was using it. Oh boy. We're recording. They were scratching their back. Lower back. Okay. It's really good for getting to those tight spots.
Alright, so
Whenever you're ready.
everything's live right now. Like I said.
Live on Facebook, Derek.
Are you serious?
No.
So, do your guys' thing and let us know when you want to stop, and we'll readjust.
Right.
But 3 songs for sure.
Okay.
But play as long as you want, man.
So what 3 are we doing? Crossroads, Ain't My Cross to Bear, Last in Line.
Yeehaw.
Are you sure?
We can change it if you like.
That's how this episode will be. We just us yelling song names at you. This one now.
Great.
Ready?
Crossroads, fell down on my knees. Down to the crossroads, fell down on my knees. Asked the Lord above for mercy, help me if you please. I went down to the crossroads, tried to flag a ride. Down to the crossroads, trying to flag a ride. Nobody seemed to know me, everyone passed me by. I'm going down to Rockdale, take my rider by my side. Going down to Rockdale, take my rider by my side. You can still bell house, baby, on the riverside. All right. Take my rider by my side. Yes, I'm going down to Rockdale. Take my rider by my side. You can still bell house, baby, on the riverside. All right, one more time.
Inspired Vapor Company is a father-son duo. Kevin and Blaine run 3 stores, one in Prince Albert, in Melfort, and in Humboldt, and they can help you stop smoking. They do that by offering vape products, and you can also go to their website, inspiredvaporcompany.com. If you use the code MOOSE10, you'll get a 10% discount on your order. If you walk into the store, tell them we say hi.
Yeah, I was totally clean shaven before. I visited my daughter in Belgium, and then we headed up north to Antwerp. We ran into all these bunch of Viking guys with shaved heads and long beards, and I said, "Oh, that's a look I could go for."
And here we are.
That's right.
That suits you, man. It looks great.
Oh, thanks.
Looks great.
It also plays perfect harmonics, so...
As long as it doesn't get caught in the strings.
Right on. How long has Traitors Gate been a thing, you guys?
well, that's a kind of a loaded question, really. Traitors Gate hasn't been that long.
A year?
Yeah.
Year and a bit.
But
we...
I took lessons from Byron when I was 14.
Right.
I think you did too.
Yeah, I was doing it.
And he's
That was 10
known
years
Byron for... Nope.
Take a few.
Anyway, no, I've known you for just about 30 years, probably.
Right.
35 years.
Yeah.
So... But Traitors Gate, it's only been
About
officially a year.
Yeah,
So...
pretty much
Were you all in different bands before? Like, you were in a band, 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 and then...
Yes.
The 3 of us are in a couple bands, and the 3 of us were in a band together, so there you go. It's,
because I was in that,
But outside the circle, too. We've all been playing.
yes, yeah,
outside
he's got a number of projects going as well. So.
it was kind of funny because when I was in the other band, I brought Cody in, and then we had somebody leave, and then I brought you in.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah.
So then the 4 of us were playing, and then I was playing with Byron and you and another fella, and we kind of all just can. This is the first band I played with Cody in. Well, second, I guess, if you want to call it that. But
Freaking right.
when I talked to his mom when I first moved out to where they live.
You had to ask his mom's permission.
Well, no, when they were just getting to know me.
Nope, that's not him.
His mom and dad were just getting to know me, and she found out that I was a musician. She's like,
Well,
you better watch it. Before long, you're going to be playing with
she
Cody.
did the same thing to me. I was fixing their house, and I got accosted that, you play? You need to talk to Cody.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
At some point in time, you're going to play with Cody.
You're going to play
music with Cody, yeah.
Slut. I like it.
Yeah, he's the band whore, yeah.
Oh, worked out so far.
Not in that way.
Yeah, so far, so good.
So these songs that you've just played,
Yeah.
how long have you been practicing those?
This song list has been building up over this
Last
year.
in Line is only a month or
maybe,
2
yeah.
old, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe a month.
Yeah.
And really, we don't have it as refined as we'd like to, but we never have any songs.
Apparently, we
refined
don't
as
have
we
any
want
of them as
to.
refined.
No, I think we just proved that.
It's just another 5 a.m. practice run, huh?
With a ship without a storm, cold without warm, light inside the darkness that it needs, yeah. With a laugh without tears, hope without fears, we are coming. never come home. But the magic that we feel will last a lifetime. We are born upon the cross with the door before the toss. You can release yourself, but the only way is out. We don't come alone. We are fire. We are stone. With a hand that writes and quickly moves away. We're known for the first time. If we're evil or divine, we're the last in line. We're the last in line. The watch from the east, it's the angel or the beast, and the answer lies between the good and bad. We search for the truth, or we could die upon the truth. But the thrill is just the taste is worth the pain. We're known for the first time. If we're evil or divine, we're the last in line. We're the last in line. We may never come home, but the magic that we feel is worth a lifetime. We're all upon the cross, ain't on the door before the toss. You can release yourself, but the only way to go is down. We're known for the first time. If we're evil or divine, we're the last in line. We're the last in line. Say always time. We're the last in line.
Yeah, sorry.
But for the most part, everything that we play now, it's kind of been going on for a couple of years. Even with our other band, we kind of rolled it into this
Some
one.
songs are old
And-
standards
yeah.
like Crossroads.
Oh, yeah.
But a lot of the some of the Allman Brothers is kind of new, and Ronnie James Dio is new.
My God, that
Yeah.
I just as soon as you started singing, my mind was just.
Oh, we're
It
doing
fucking
Rainbow in the
exploded
Dark
right
after
away.
two.
I saw your eyes the size of saucers.
Oh
I
my
looked over.
Dude,
And he was singing beside me. Shut up.
I love that song. Yeah.
and then I'm like whispering to Mark, like, is that getting picked up on audio? Because I don't want fucking ruin the thing. But yeah, no, that was one out of those. They all slapped. That was one of my favorites out of those. I fucking loved that style. I was telling you guys before. I haven't heard you guys play before. I missed you guys at Chesterfest. Had to leave, unfortunately. I've known Derek for a few years now, so I knew he drummed. But I never got a chance to see you. Byron, I heard of you. Like everybody freaking knows who you are, man. So like,
Because I owe them money.
right? So I'm very grateful for the opportunity to come in here and see you guys perform, and I'm so fired up to have you guys come and play Chesterfest. Like,
Who's fest?
Hello.
Yeah, Moose Fest. There's but to see how you guys just did right now, like in my mind right now, what I'm thinking, like there's the fucking bar. That's the bar. Like everybody's got to like bring their game. If you guys bring as much thunder as you just did, like man, I'm so pumped for that event. Like it's gonna.
We're so excited to play it too. Like it's in the back of our minds now as we get together, even have coffee and make plans for rehearsal. Thinking, oh, can't wait to play it.
We talk about it all the time, yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna. Well,
Yeah.
Derek, you were at last year. What did you think of last year's?
I thought last year was great.
Right?
I really did. I enjoyed myself immensely. I thought they were all great.
They were right.
Yeah,
And I feel like we did a good. We put it together well. Considering all the circumstances, it was
Yes.
our first one. Like we
had a month and a half to plan it.
We still
Right.
don't know what we're
Amazing,
doing,
yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. But
Yeah.
this year's going to be bigger and better.
Did the pandemic affect it at all?
You know, yes, in like attendance a little bit. The attendance wasn't bad. Obviously, like it can always be better.
Sure.
Right.
We could
But-
have packed the hall, but
Yeah, but we didn't pack it. But it was surprisingly good. I think it was a head count of 165 people.
Oh, that's good.
Right.
I think we were just hitting the sweet spot because at that time there was just a month or two where all the restrictions were lifted.
Yeah.
Right. The law
And we were
had
just
occurred,
right in the middle where we
hit
could.
the
But I think some people were happy to get out and they were just excited to get out of their
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
Whereas some other people, they really weren't. They were a little gun shy. That's probably why the
Yeah.
attendance wasn't as high as
Yeah.
you may have thought it could have been.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because some people were like, no, the mask mandate's off.
Yeah.
And people are still wearing it. And you know what? Good on you. If you
Yeah.
want to, if you
Yeah.
feel safe wearing it, I got nothing against that. But I'm just saying that some people at that time, they thought that it was crazy that we were going to do stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, in the middle of a pandemic and you're doing this.
Are you sure?
And nobody,
Yeah.
nobody got hurt. Nobody
Nope.
got sick.
Yeah.
Nope,
Yeah.
there was no
No.
super spreader.
Everything
Yeah.
was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you guys were, if anybody out there was at Moose Fest 2021 and caught COVID from there,
Don't let us know if you want to.
yeah.
We never heard about it.
Hope you're doing well now. No, it didn't happen. Like
Yeah.
everything went off with a hitch. We partied till freaking
It was great.
6 in the morning.
Heard
It was
nothing
unreal.
but good
Like
things.
there was an excitement from some of the bands who hadn't played for so long as well too.
Yeah.
They were launched. The guy from singer from League of Wolves said they hadn't played for 500 days. You could tell they were so excited to play, and the dance floor was packed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah.
I love
There was a group. Shout out to that group from Waka, Saskatchewan, who came out and they had like inflatable moose antlers.
Right.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And we were just like, oh, what a great idea!
Why didn't we think of that?
I got it.
Sitting on top of the road. Whatever, man. Oh, nah. No more tears. Nah. Sitting on top of the road. Whatever. I'm in.
Wonderwall? No, just kidding.
You might be in the wrong room.
Wagon wheel! Oh my God, I'm doing this podcast alone.
Under bad sign,
You go straight for the throat. Sure, we do weren't in bad time.
I'm good with it. Sure.
You were sitting on top of the road, don't you?
Oh, I like both.
Okay,
So
then
born
Warner's
is good.
take it away. What's that?
Born on the bad side.
Born under a bad sign. Well, I've been down since I began to crawl. There's a wonderful bad luck. I wouldn't have no luck at all. Bad luck and trouble's my only friend. Well, I've been down ever since I was 10. Born under a bad sign. Well, I've been down since I began to crawl. There's a wonderful bad luck. I wouldn't have no luck at all. You know, whining women's all I crave. A big bad woman winds are gonna carry me to my grave. Born under a bad sign. I've been down since I began to crawl. Living water for bad luck. I wouldn't have no luck at all. Alright, bye. Trouble's been my only friend. I've been down ever since I was 10. Born under a bad sign. I've been down since I began to crawl. Living wasn't for bad luck. I wouldn't have no luck if it wasn't for real bad luck. I wouldn't have no luck at all. No luck if it wasn't for real bad luck. I wouldn't have no luck at all. Born under a bad sign. Born under a bad sign.
Sorry for the interruption, you guys. I just wanted to tell you guys about Muse Canada. They're a new arts and entertainment media connection and support network. Skip the algorithms of social media and connect with other entertainment professionals across Canada. Sign up today for $5 a month or use the promo code FunkyMoose2021 for 10% off. That is FUNKYMOOSE2021 for 10% off. Back to the show.
Yeah, so this year is going to be outside.
Yeah.
That'll be so much better.
Yeah. Freaking
not that the hall wasn't good, but I think outside festivals are the place to be.
Yeah. And I think like rain or shine, it's going to go down because the stage that we have, if it's raining, it'll still be okay, right?
Yeah.
So the crowd will get wet, but
that's that covered like that flat deck that he's got with the covered.
It's not a flat deck.
Nope.
We got a legit.
It's a stage line.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Nice. So we're still kind of trying to figure out the exact spot to put it, but we have a pretty good idea. Yeah. I think I'm not sure how familiar you guys are with Bellevue Sports Ground. You ever go to a ball tournament there?
Yep.
Well, where that skating rink is, I'm thinking of putting the stage there and have it face the south ball diamond, like the outfield of the south ball diamond. So the stage would be facing west, I guess, and then the where the canteen usually is, it'll kind of be behind where the stage is. So I'm not sure how the beer gardens will go with that yet, but in my head, the stage will be facing west on that sports ground. And
when he says my head, it's our head.
yeah, well, I never get a straight answer out of him. So I'm
Bullshit. We just talked about it on the way here.
roll with it, but it's
Don't fight, you both pretty.
but there are too, like the power's right there too, so I don't need generators. Like it'd be cool to have it in that back corner in the outfield too, but then I got to run power out there and stuff. So that's kind of how I see it in my head. We're hoping for some like food trucks out there. There'll be alcohol and food there. Perfect. Campgrounds available.
So do you guys have to go to the whole nine, like fenced in and all that kind of stuff? Or?
Interesting, because I was talking to today about it.
They're a sponsor. You can just say it.
Well, it's not a for sure thing. I didn't get the price yet, but in retrospect, yeah, they'll sponsor the fence and fence off. Yeah, I gave them the numbers to do the whole sports ground. I want the fence, the whole thing off. So if you don't have a ticket, you're not coming in. Sorry.
You'll hear it.
You bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll hear it, but you're not going to see it.
Oh yeah, the whole town will hear it.
Yeah.
Your kids are going to be dancing.
Yeah.
Bellevue okay with that? You didn't have any issues with like the community loved it? Like that was.
We didn't ask yet.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's not true.
Well, if you haven't heard complaints, right?
No, that's not true. Because last year, what I heard since the last Moose Fest was people were disappointed that they didn't go.
Yeah.
Right? There was that was like a lot of talk. Like, holy shit, they actually pulled it off.
And
there was a lot of doubt that
it was
we should have went. We should have went. Well, yeah, you should have. So we'll see you this year. But I feel like we're getting a lot of support from the community.
Nice.
Yeah, there's like the French organization is like has our back on it, and maybe the Hamlet too might help us out there too. So it's
cool.
Hell yeah. And I mean, we were.
And I found out that the Hamlet doesn't have a quiet time. So normally you have
no bylaw for 11 or something.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
So
I think that's where PA gets hiccuped every once in a while when they do festivals like Kinsman Park.
Yeah.
Because all the residential around there, and then they have issues with that. So
yeah. So the RM told us, because it's a Hamlet, so the RM is in charge of it. They told us that, as long as you let the people know that it's going to happen that weekend, they can make plans. If they don't want to hear anything, they can just go.
Well, I know that they had that music festival in PA a couple of years ago. What was that, 7 years ago? You remember
talking Borealis?
Yeah.
Borealis,
and that had issues.
That had issues, but I remember, like, I lived 2 blocks away from that at the time.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You were
And,
just out. Yeah.
and I could hear everything on my deck. I didn't have a problem with it.
Right.
But why buy a ticket when I can hear everything?
So where
I
was
had
that
tickets for
exactly?
That was in Kinsman Park.
At Kinsman. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought it was outside.
Wasn't
It was outside, yeah.
No, out of the city.
You think like Chesterfest, Joel put that.
Right. Yeah. No.
But Borealis was right in Kinsman Park.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And that was...
Oh, they did a great job,
They did
but they just the cost overruns killed them. They just
Yeah. The amount of bands they had was just astounding.
Yes, yeah.
Yukon Blonde, I think, was there.
They
right?
were.
Yep.
Yep. And July Talks, they were awesome.
Right.
Harpoonist and the Axe Murderer, they were awesome.
I didn't know any of the bands.
Oh man, they were.
None of them.
Oh, dude, July Talks was. I knew them and Harpoonist and Axe Murderer prior.
But
So,
what I was getting to is they must have had some kind of special permission to do that, because they went well past midnight.
Okay.
Doing that, but
Right.
it's
I think how, like, we're hoping to start, like, right now, you guys know the 5 bands that we've got on the bill right now.
Have you heard any of them?
What are the bands that are on the bill?
So there's, like...
Traitors Gate. I don't know if you know them.
Yeah. They're fucking awesome, you guys. You guys suck. But, yeah, so we've got you guys on there. We've got Weapons out of Saskatoon. The Hour Hand out of Regina. Have you heard of them? Yeah. Man, these kids, they're, like, legit kids. They're, sorry, guys.
Okay.
But they're, like, early 20s, all right? And I was introduced to them a year or 2 ago, and instant fan. I think you guys will love their music.
Yep.
Right now, they currently did some work with the guys from Monster Truck.
Oh wow!
And they just came back, so we're looking forward to hearing those released this year at some point. So they're going to be there. Not Monster Truck, but the Hour Hand.
Or are they?
Or are they? Maybe. And we've got 2 bands out of Winnipeg, Northern Royals and Exomerta are going to come in. They're going to, organize a little tour or whatever, Western area, and then they're going to stop by and come party with us. Yeah. So
and we have another one in the back pocket that may or may not come.
Yeah, we got a couple in the back pocket.
Nice.
But nothing. Though you 5 are like, you're on there right now. You're on the site, so you're in.
Perfect.
Right?
Yeah. So what with Moose Fest specifically? What kind of music you like? I mean, you Jones pretty hard over Dio, right? Is that more like the metal that you're looking for, or blues? Like
not at all.
It just happened to be that this year are all rock bands.
Okay.
But we already talked about 2023, what we want to do there, but it's not set in stone yet. But we're not going to restrict, this is a rock show. Period.
We've tossed, like, right now, so what we're trying to figure out, and maybe if you guys watching or listening can help us out, put it in the comments and stuff, is it more beneficial to keep it strictly one genre? Like, let's say Moose Fest 2023. Do we want to go all country? And like, this year's rock, obviously. Next year, do we want to go all country? Or do we want to mix it up a bit? And have like maybe one country artist, one rock, one. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it was diverse. Last year was
you whispered that, but we talked about that.
Have a day,
because then you can have a country day and have a rock day or whatever.
Yeah, or even mix it up during the day.
Well,
yeah, right.
I like
the
variety personally.
I also
even like Chesterfest. I think we scared some people because it was very indie folky, and then we get up there and it's like
Cody
we're doing Perry Mason, blowing everybody away, and then all of a sudden they get back to Dust in the Wind.
Exactly.
But no offense to who was playing, like they're great. But
I like that shift. I like the variety in one day instead of personally. That's my personal preference.
I would agree with you on that too. I feel like it's 50-50
because really like. If you're doing country stuff and stuff like that, let's say you're doing that during the day like we were just talking about, you could get some of the local people.
Can your drums play country?
No. I don't have a country note.
You don't have a country note?
I got them removed when I got them.
Just checking. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I think something to consider is that country has this huge voice here on the prairies. It's already lots of festivals, lots of places to play. So it's rock. Like last year was quite diverse because you had that with the band that opened up that played the beautiful reggae stuff and
we had
Steadies.
Nicely diverse last year. I thought was a really nice mix. And even League of Wolves is rock, but with some folky undertones and lots of clean guitars, and so it was a nice mix.
Yeah,
are you biased because you know the guitar player?
No, who's the guitar player?
Yeah. Aspen Beverage. No, and that was, I heard that feedback about last year's event too, because people like obviously in the community know who I am and know my style of music, and as soon as they're like, oh, Joel's putting that together, then no, I don't want to listen to rock and roll, right? And I'm like, but that's not like, do you know who the Steadies are? Because it's like more reggae rock. And
they were such good entertainers, man.
I loved it.
Such a good show.
Yeah.
And if you go to a festival country like Holland, where you have a festival every other weekend, for example, they don't have. It's not. This is a rock festival. I mean, there are rock
genres don't necessarily enter in.
And they don't necessarily have a headliner per se either. It's you go there for a specific band and you check out the rest. I would like Moose Fest to be that.
To be like, we had that conversation too. Like, who, if we don't get a major headliner like Monster Truck, like who do we put out of the 5 bands that we got right now? You guys are all fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be the one to say, okay, like you're the headlining act or whatever. Like that's not my place to say because I love you guys all the same. I think you guys are all kick ass.
It's like,
well, do we just avoid the term headliner and just say Traitors Gate is at this time and Weapons is at this time, and that's
so there's no headliners, just people playing, bands playing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's how it is right now, unless we get like Monster Truck.
Well, that certainly would break the mold.
Hit us up, eh?
This is one of those things, tag your favorite rock band in their Facebook
they
pages.
do that all the time.
Comment. Put in the comment section who you guys want to headline Moose Fest.
It's funny because I see those all the time, and somebody always says, big wreck all the time. And
Yeah, Big
they
Wreck's always in it.
Well, maybe
They
it's
answer
because
all
I
the
follow them on Facebook. But
maybe I get that
they
too.
always reply. And I even saw Momstein once reply.
Yep.
Right?
Oh, speaking of Facebook, happy birthday.
Oh, fuck off.
Sorry, what?
Yeah.
He said Malmsteen, one of my favorite guitar players. He sent a note to Malmsteen, and Malmsteen replied, and I said,
No, not me, but somebody
I think,
had.
oh, okay. I think it was a bot that replied. Not that Malmsteen's too busy.
One of his handlers, yes.
One of the handlers. I never thought of that because I get really excited when I get like a like or anything from like a higher end celebrity.
You get excited
But I-
when you get 100 views on your story.
I do.
I would too.
I do. Shit, man, that post that we did about the Moose Fest website tickets going up, like that's over 800 views right now. I'm pumped about that.
Oh, yeah.
You know how many tickets are sold? 2.
8?
That's 2 tickets sold.
Hey,
out of
better than
800
none.
views.
That's better than none.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. I'd buy tickets if I didn't get free ones.
But you're,
Who says you get
Unless I
free
don't
ones?
get them.
who said you're not paying the play, right?
Wouldn't be the first time.
Camping this year? What are you guys doing?
There are 28 campsites on
Nice.
site. So if you come to the festival, you can also get a campsite. We don't take care of that. So it's first come, first serve. Whoever's there, Sunday morning probably, someone will come by and get cash from you. So,
Yep.
but if you want to camp, we'll
Is there
make sure you
room
have a...
on the floor in your furnace room for anyone?
I don't have a furnace in my house.
For the
Well, I'm staying at your house. Just like last year, you had all 3 bands staying at your house.
that
was funny.
That's,
Oh my
I think
God.
that's why we stayed up so freaking late. Like we partied in the hall till 4 in the morning, and
Yeah.
then I think you guys and the Steadies went to your place.
Yeah.
And then League and 7 Mile Sun came to mine. We were up till like 6, 7. Well, I was up till 6 in the morning. Everybody else was still up when I went to bed. And then at 9 o'clock, we were back over at Mark's for breakfast.
Having breakfast,
the next
yeah.
day. So I don't even know if
People
those guys
were
went to
everywhere.
bed.
Yeah.
On our
That's insane.
trampoline,
On the trampoline, yeah.
yeah, in the trees,
In
It was
the
a good time.
basement.
Oh,
in the
man.
basement, people I didn't know.
So yeah, that picture I posted today about the celebration of the inaugural thing, like that was legit. The start of the celebration of the inaugural. Like that's where that started, was that picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's kind of also what we want to do with Moose Fest. Like I get the feeling that a lot of festivals and concerts, bands are just coming and going and not talking
they
to
don't
each other.
actually cross or take
Yeah.
time to meet each other or anything.
Yeah. So what we had with the last Moose Fest, we all partied together. There were a few band members that had to be somewhere
Yeah.
later.
And that was cool because we, like I said, we stayed at your place and everybody had breakfast together, like everybody.
Yeah.
And man, that was just cool. The other band members talking to each other, and I just thought it was neat.
I like that. It's that camaraderie
Yeah.
thing. I think that's what it should all be about. We should all be
Absolutely,
here
yeah.
to help each other out.
It's not like I don't want to talk to them. They're in another band. Blah, blah. No,
Yeah.
it was none of that.
They
Yeah.
were rivals.
Yeah, no,
Right?
It was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have not found yet to testify about our bad misfortune, and I'm not here wondering why, but I live on. I'll be strong, 'cause it just ain't my cross to bear. Sat down and wrote you a long letter. Well, just the other day, It shows the sunrise, baby. Tomorrow I'll be up and on my way. But I live on. And I'll be strong, 'cause it just ain't my cross to bear. Oh no. I'll be strong, 'cause it just ain't my cross to bear. Yes, now, baby. But in the end, baby, long towards the end of the road, don't reach out for me, baby. But I live on, and I'll be strong, 'cause it just ain't my cross to bear. No, no, baby. No, baby. No, baby.
Hey, we got to give a shout out to Jeff here for the sound.
Spectrum Sound.
This episode of the Sit Down Podcast is brought to you by Spectrum Sound.
Oh!
Woo! Awesome. We'll put the link and the phone number right here, you guys.
Yeah.
Or right here.
Or here.
Yeah.
Or here, maybe.
Or here.
Or there.
Or there. Yeah, you can do that.
For all your entertainment needs. Spectrum Sound.
Thank you so much for that. This is awesome. Yeah. So, okay. So you didn't grow up in Prince Albert?
I did, yeah.
You did?
Oh, I did.
Are all of, like, Derek, you're not from PA originally?
Oh, born and raised.
So all of you guys are born and raised in Prince Albert?
I wasn't born here, but I lived here the majority of my life, yeah.
Hell yeah. Right on. And then you taught all three of these guys.
Prince Albert is like Alcatraz. It keeps drawing you back.
You can't get away. If you do, the sharks chase you back.
Exactly.
Nice.
Yeah, these guys are young enough to be my sons. So I can hit him on the back of the head.
How old are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is that old.
I remember you with long hair still.
I know.
Oh, man.
That's what I took lessons
never
from you. How
forget
long
it.
ago was that?
That was a long time.
Never forget that day I walked in and I saw some bald guy holding Byron's guitar. From behind, I could see him. I'm like, who the heck is that?
What they're referring to is I used to have long hair. I came back from college. I had hair down to my belts, and I had long hair most of my life.
Blonde
and then,
hair.
And then it was thinning out. And I said, I got to roll with the times. So I went out on the deck, and my wife took the razor and shaved my head right into a skinhead. And that night I was playing somewhere with Derek, and he hadn't seen me with short hair. So I went from a long-haired hippie to a
Skinhead.
Couldn't believe it. They didn't know if they couldn't recognize me. I scared my children. They looked at me like this.
There was, and no beard at that time?
No.
That's funny.
That's the Byron that I do.
The long hair.
No. I didn't know him at that time.
The bald, no beard.
That's right. Yeah.
No, I had the long-haired Byron. It's funny, you can tell the ages, the stages with by Byron's hair.
Yeah, you have long-haired Byron, then you have bald-head Byron, and then long beard
and then beard Byron.
That's right.
Yeah.
But you have to remember, like the beard has a mind of its own.
Oh.
The beard is the personality. Byron just walks around with it. The beard wears Byron.
Does Byron's beard also have his own Instagram account?
Well, no, but when you hear the guitar going, it's not actually him; it's his beard.
It's like that movie or that child movie Ratatouille. You know, the mouse on top. You know, pulling his
driving the other, but it's in the beard.
Yeah, that's Byron's beard. Yeah.
Are you going to grow a beard, by the way?
I can't grow a beard.
You totally can. Your wife won't let you.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's the same thing, isn't it?
Well, it was a toss-up. I could either have a beard or what do you call it? Married relations. So I chose the better one because I can't grow a beard anyway. So there's no sense even
You're in
bothering.
town all the time anyway, so just.
I hope she's not watching.
You don't know, eh?
I'm curious how, like, you guys obviously played at Chesterfest together. Have you guys had any other, like, any gigs? Or was that the one and only?
I don't think so.
Not as the four of us,
right?
No.
I don't
think we had.
Yeah. The way the world is, or was, I should say, we were kind of limited to what we could do, so it was really great to get out and play Chesterfest.
Oh man, that was such a good time. Oh man.
Really get our bearings.
Yeah, shout out to Joel for having us because man, that was probably the most fun I've had in a long time. Yeah. You know,
I think that goes for a lot of people that were at Chesterfest.
And you know what? I take the whole thing with my video camera, and I'm an emotional guy. It's just the way I am, and when I watch things back, it just hits me. You know, it's just like I can't believe that.
Do you have a 9-foot screen you watch yourself on?
No, I don't. But thank you. That's maybe something I should invest in.
Just asking.
I know where you're going with that, and you never mind.
Does that mean that the view count on this episode might go up because you'll just have it on
keep it in
repeat?
It's funny because we played, the three of us played with another fella at the Winter Festival. And we had the big production, and it was.
Thanks, man.
It was probably one of the highlights of my life to see what we could.
Hey, and my bass didn't die.
Your bass didn't die. It's the only one of the only times it didn't. But it was one of the best things. Easy now. It was one of the best times of my life, quite honestly, just to see the response of us playing. Like there was, they weren't just there for us, obviously, but there was a couple hundred people there, maybe 150,
and
or whatever it was. It was the
serious
biggest
enough sound system, like it thumped,
and the lights, and it just the whole ambiance, and it just, I teared up when I was watching it back and listening to it because I was imagining myself there, and you just get in the moment,
Well, and we're playing songs that nobody else plays. Realistically,
absolutely.
Like we that's kind of with this little bit of the start of this. We want to play music that you won't hear Dio in a bar.
No,
right?
Right? Like nobody's gonna
Perry
play
Mason,
that. Perry Mason, all this kind of stuff. So, or any Cream, or you'll hear some, but
you'll hear Crossroads and stuff.
I don't even know if you hear that. It's definitely dummied down if they are playing.
That
and Sunshine
makes a lot of sense. I get exactly what you're saying. I'm not going to see, if I'm going to see like Weapons or the Hourhead, like they're not going to play that. They're going to play their own stuff,
and
rightfully so. And I'm a fan of the music that you guys are playing. That I'm not. I mean, I went to go see Black Sabbath and that, but I'm not going to see that again. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Whereas you guys, it's almost like you guys are accessible, where I can fuck yeah, I'm going to come and watch you guys play that because you guys are playing the music that I want to listen to.
So how do you determine which songs go on a set list?
Byron.
Okay, cool.
Basically, it's like, is it guitar porn? There's lots of guitar. Then it gets played. So
yeah, because it's the Byron show.
It's the Byron show.
Yeah,
or is it Byron's beard?
So we try to fill this area of music that I think is the hardest driving of the 70s and 80s, and maybe the more complicated stuff too. Stuff that I'm so proud of these guys because they're fearless. I'll suggest a song and they'll take it on and put everything into it. You can see Cody when he sings; he just puts everything into it, and he's really our secret weapon for some of these songs when we're doing Dio or Ozzy. We're just saying, "Holy smokes, he makes us look good," you know. So we're trying to hit that area where we're playing songs that really no one else is playing, and if we go into a pub and play, and we want to outplay ourselves from last night, we want to play a little bit heavier. Even if we're saying we're playing Ozzy, we want to play it heavier than Ozzy. We're playing Dio. Right. We want to try and make it heavier than Dio if we can.
And all in all, it's all tunes that we love. That's what makes the cut.
That's what it boils down to.
We're
pulling these tunes.
And I gotta differ right there a little bit. It's not necessarily tunes I loved, but I've come to love them. You know, like that's the. I mean, again, like Dio has this, ungodly voice. However, godly voice, whichever. Godly, yeah.
Wow.
He can sing, right? But it's that hair metal sound that I never got into. But now that we're playing it, I absolutely love it.
Right.
Yeah,
me too.
So
it's like the respect for it, right?
Sure.
Like you see
it's complicated music. It really is.
It's more complicated than people even realize.
In some ways, like Dio is quite like Ozzy in that he surrounds himself with the best of musicians.
Fantastic musicians.
So they're so high in their game and trying to outdo their competition.
Right.
So.
Right. Have you guys ever considered like doing your own music?
The last talk that we just had, saying, so we like covering songs, but if we're ever going to get on a main stage or ever we're going to record and do something, we need to write our own stuff, and so that's the next step.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, like that. Like I had supper with you guys tonight, and that's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
Like that's what separates us from these other guys at the festival, is maybe sometime in the future. I'm not 100% sure because honestly, I'm not a songwriter. Like I'll think up just about anything to play with the melody.
You do Ginger Baker's backbeat, and you and I are the rhythm section anyway. We just we crawl out from under the bridge and play with these guys, and then crawl back at the end of the night. So.
But that's also a form of songwriting, 100%. Right? So just because you're not writing the lyrics down doesn't mean that you're not a songwriter. But if you guys work collaboratively, right? And I don't know, let's say you're writing down some lyrics, and then you can you come up with a melody, and then Derek's like, well, yeah, exactly. So as like a collaborative part, you guys are all like 25% the songwriter. That's how I see that. It's not just who writes down the words is the songwriter, right?
Absolutely.
For sure. Hell yeah. So I guess if you just had the talk of maybe that's what you guys were going to do, is there any ideas
I
or
think
concepts?
Everyone's got some ideas. So collectively, we sort of came from our inspiration in the beginning was Cream in trying to push the drums, bass, and guitar as far as they could possibly go. Each night a little bit farther into inventing and in pushing our improvisations.
We should have played Spoonful or something.
Yeah, we should have.
Yeah, Sunshine is one of my favorites.
Well,
just because of the backbeat stuff, like the stuff that Baker did. Like, oh my God, if I could play it half as good as he did, or even a quarter of the way he did, like unbelievable. But most people that are listening to it, they don't hear that.
No, and Baker really never, because you talk about quarter for us as far as writing. Clapton and Bruce got all the because they were the ones that wrote the songs. Bruce wrote most of them. They got the money. Baker, he was just kind of along for the ride.
Right.
But in my opinion, that band was about. Byron will disagree with me. Baker is the key. It's all about the drums on that.
I heard about an interview that Baker did, and somebody had said to Ginger Baker, you're Eric Clapton's drummer.
Clapton is my guitarist.
Yeah. Clapton's my guitarist. Yeah. I started this band. Clapton's my guitarist. Don't ever call me that again.
Yep.
Well, come on. To be honest, he was a big asshole. Like, he really was.
Yes.
You look at any one of those concerts. I don't know how they would want to play with him.
You
He
kids
was
get
so
along.
pompous there.
Yeah, but they all
He
have
was unbelievably good.
all three of them had variations of that, like because they were all the best of their game, right? And so you put that in one melting pot, and you're bound to get a little bit of a powder.
Well, yes.
I mean,
because
what
you think
they
about
played
Ginger
for
Baker
2
and-
years.
Yeah.
Were they even together more than 2 years?
They broke up just before their 2 years.
And what they recorded within that time is fantastic.
Yeah.
Just
Well, Bruce and Baker couldn't stand each other.
no, not true. Nettie Baker's daughter has disproved. Like,
Oh, she did, eh?
Yeah, she's disproved that. She wrote. She's got a couple books out there about that time. And Bruce and Baker were friends right till the end. But they did
You wouldn't
have
know it the way Baker.
exactly because they did, and there is video footage of that where
Oh, yeah.
they're fighting. Right? It's kind of
Yeah,
like
but
you and I.
You and I, we fight.
I'm gonna, if I could reduce this to the inspiration that we got was from the three instrumentals pushing themselves farther every night than they had done before, and in doing so, they brought the best out of each other. So even though they had disagreements and stuff, and we have them as well, too, we bring the best out of each other.
No, really, we don't have disagreed. It's pretty easy going when a song is chosen and we play it. It's I don't know. There's no complaints on my department. Have I vetoed anything this year?
That was going to be my next question. Has there ever been
I
anything
vetoed stuff in our last band, but I don't think I vetoed anything in this band.
No, I'm going to say so. These guys indulge me because when I've asked for a song, they've never actually vetoed a song that I've asked for. And I know the day is coming.
Took a step back to be like, hey boys, I don't know if I got this.
What's that? Say that one more time.
I said Dio, I wasn't sure about.
And you,
but that's a tall order. But
you killed it.
A tall order.
You were
kill it.
Yeah.
You attacked it fearlessly, Cody, and it brought the best out of you.
Well, I appreciate that, Brian.
I think
I think it's awesome the way you talk to us right now. It's just calm voice, and then when you're in front of one of those microphones,
just lets you rip.
Yeah, it's like what
we
the
call
fuck?
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
So what made you like when it was presented? How long did it take you to like be okay with like giving it a shot?
I'll never say no, and I'll always tell these boys I'll give it a shot. If it's too pitchy, then like there's 10,000 to hundreds of thousands of tunes that are in the range.
I don't think I've ever heard you pitchy, but you definitely take a song and you'll I don't know if you're trying to sound like Ozzy, but you'll put a little bit of nasal in it to have that tone, which isn't, I gotta admit, not my favorite sound of yours, but you make it work for the song. It's unique. It's amazing how many voices this guy has. So.
But the same thing with Dio, he puts the growl in.
Exactly, it's there, right? Like it's
but still try to make it your own, right? Still, not to mimic.
Yeah, it's not
the God himself. Right?
it's not karaoke night here or anything,
That's right. So that's a big thing when it's a tall order like that. You got to step back and be like, "Hey, boys, am I just going to ruin this, or is this?"
Yeah.
But I will always give it a try.
We're still planning on adding keyboards to the band too. So.
Oh my God!
Oh, I want to hear this story.
Well, he's quite a musician. Like we don't showcase it obviously.
No.
But man, guitar, keyboard,
multi-instrumentalist.
Like, oh my God.
He's good, and.
I can play them all, just not very well.
Wow.
Oh, so humble.
Hell yeah.
Keyboard.
Yeah, but you have to think Hammond B3 kind of rotary speaker, Allman Brothers type. I don't know if I'm reaching it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Am I?
Most of it is. Some of it is over there.
All right.
Yeah.
If you listen to a lot of the music we do, there is keyboards in them.
Yeah.
Just as a lot of it's filler and stuff, but there is some of that Hammond type stuff. However, we've taken these songs. I mean, this one we talked about, No More Tears, has a ton of keyboard in it.
Love that song.
But we don't have keyboards in it. We play it without keyboards, so we'll make a 3-piece work without that fourth instrument, basically.
But we do. So we do have a pedal. I have a Hammond B3 pedal for doing
which we've used on occasion.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Keyboard parts if we need to.
Yeah, because we did the start of Perry Mason. Yeah.
But the thing is too, you don't want to. You got to let it breathe, right? You can't have too many things because then it just gets all muddy.
Well, Dustin's got great ambience with his bass that fills up a
here
huge.
we go. And I'm not happy with my sound right now. I won't lie, man.
I think I was talking. Excuse me.
No, I'm sorry. Actually, I wasn't sure. Was that the Butte or
No, I was saying. So those parts that often the Hammond would fill in the Allman Brothers tunes. Dustin's got this great ambient sound with this beautiful vintage Sun amplifier and playing the beautiful Epiphone.
He's really pumping my tires here. Thank you,
I guess
man.
we just the Hammond. I guess that was my way of saying no Hammond.
No Hammond.
No keyboards.
Dustin's
got this. Yeah.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
We're still trying to figure it out.
I won't lie. I got a love-hate relationship with that EB3. What is it? EB3. It's
You don't even know its name.
It's EB. It's Ibby and EB are my two basses. So Ibanez and what is that? An Epiphone EB3. So Byron doesn't like my Ibanez though.
Because
it's not a proper Christian bass.
Kind of like I don't like your Fender 6.
Yeah. Well, I like my Fender 6. That can be fun.
Well, that's
Is that true, Brian?
No, he
So
just
some of his tones from some of his basses are he's fond of them, and to me they don't bring out the best of Dustin.
I wouldn't even say fond. It's just each one has its own personality. Let's put it that way. So they all have different. So this one has a certain sound, and jumping between a couple different bands with a couple different instruments. All of a sudden, I forget which one I'm on, and then I can't get the right sound. And then it disturbs me for like this is the OCD part of me. He's OCD about stuff, and the sound on my instrument is I'm OCD with. And then I don't know if you're playing, like I turned around half a dozen times and adjust stuff because it's just not there, not where I want it.
A little bit of a turn there, a little bit of a turn there.
It is. I won't lie. It's a great bass, but there's holes. Everyone, I don't know. All the Fender 6 has holes. The Ibanez has holes. They just fulfill different areas.
Yeah, but you think about all the guitar players in the world; they're all chasing that sound. Even the best guitar players in the world,
Billy
they're
Gibbons,
still chasing that sound.
Yeah.
Whereas everybody's chasing his sound or their sound. Like everybody's like, as far as Byron goes, he's chasing Malmsteen's sound.
But here's the thing: Byron's discovered. At least it hasn't. He's.
But he's
I
still
want to get to that
chasing
point,
it, right?
Yeah.
You're constantly chasing it.
That's what I think. He doesn't change from that.
I feel like I've fallen in these last 10 years on the sound that I want to hold on to.
Oh, it sounds fantastic.
I'd kind of like to get to that point to have a sound that this is my sound, and you think some as far as bass is concerned, like Dusty Hill has his sound, Billy Sheehan has a sound and it's his sound. There's Duff McKeegan has his sound. There's these dude from Aerosmith, I don't even know his name, has his sound.
So that if you heard it, you would know who's playing it, right?
Exactly.
Michael Anthony.
I feel this bass is the Traitors Gate sound.
Well, it is. It's the Traitors Gate bass. I haven't. It's a love-hate relationship. That's all I can say. So,
if there's any counselors out there,
Well, it's funny. He says counselors because these guys took lessons from Byron, and I know lots of people that have taken lessons from Byron, and they said, the guitar playing is 50% and the counseling is the other 50%.
it's a $25 coffee is what you're getting when you come for
lessons with Byron.
Yep.
Going for a $25 coffee and then just talk and play.
Because even if you feel like crap, you spend a half an hour with Byron and you're like, I feel pretty
Actually,
good.
I noticed that. I was paying for half-hour lessons, but I was getting closer to 50 minutes or an hour kind of thing. So, yeah.
Byron, how long have you been playing guitar for?
I started when I was 12.
And a better question to that is, how many hours per day since you were 12 have you had a guitar in your hands?
Yeah. My dad would flick the lights at 2 in the morning and say, "You got to put the guitar down and go to bed." So I would play guitar all I could. I couldn't wait to get. In fact, my dad had this trick. He said, "You can't do any guitar practice till your chores are done." And so I would get all the chores done before. It was like it's the opposite. If you think of piano players, try that trick on a piano player. Hey, no piano practice till your chores are done. That's a win-win.
Great.
Never do. So were you were self-taught then, or did you have to take lessons?
I was self-taught, and then I went to college to study music, and then I taught for the rest of my life.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Oh wow.
You were a little bit of a prodigy though too. Like you have if you don't have perfect pitch, you have near perfect pitch.
I have good relative pitch, but I have this ability as a boy to be able to hear a song and analyze the chords that were in it. So if I was in a grocery store where my folks were shopping, even as a 10 or 11-year-old, I had a little book and I could write out the chord changes of the music as the songs
that was playing in the store. Oh,
right.
Wow.
In fact, in my years right now, I'm trying to turn that analytical side of my brain off so that I can enjoy music. So for most of my life, I taught between 60 and 80 songs a week while I was teaching. So I had to learn them most often on the spot, but often the day of or the day before. And so when I'm listening to the radio, my brain would always be saying the chord names.
Analyzing it.
Oh, wow.
But so I have to try to not analyze, right? And I have to enjoy music for music's sake.
Right.
Help you enjoy.
That's almost like is it like a curse or a blessing?
I think it is, because really.
And then you got students coming here asking for Britney Spears and Miley Cyrus.
Does that happen?
It has happened, but I'm still in therapy for most of it.
But I can attest to this because I walked in here with a Paul Brandt song because that's Jennifer's favorite country artist, and I had him look it up and he was like, "Oh, okay," and he listened to it once, maybe just the first half, and okay, so we're doing this, and he started playing it. It was like, what?
And now 5 minutes. Know why Byron quit.
5 minutes. It wasn't
that was it.
Yeah, I didn't quit. He did.
I have this memory of this man came in when my kids were small. It was Garth Brooks was big on the radio, and he came and said, "This is my son William. He wants to learn every Garth Brooks song ever written.
Oh, wow.
Here's the box set." And so I had this boy for 2 years learning every Garth Brooks. So I'm not a country fan. Sorry, Derek. But yeah, that was saying, I can't wait till he's learned all these songs so we can move on to something else.
Right.
Huh. Derek, how long have you been playing drums?
I kind of fell into it. I had a buddy, Calvin, who I learned in church, and kind of where I cultivated it, if you will. But my buddy Calvin, he played in church and he was a drummer, and my dad played guitar in the church and stuff like that. And you kind of just get sucked into it type thing.
Well, best place for an amateur musician.
Absolutely. But it's the best and worst. Because even if you're playing
pick
crappy,
up bad habits.
even if you play crappy, you still get praised for it.
Yeah.
And that, he actually told me that's the worst thing I could do. He says, you got to get out and you got to play in front of people. He told me that from the time I met him till now. You just got to keep playing in front of people. Anyway, so Calvin was playing one night at this practice at our church, and he was getting frustrated, and there was a bunch of people out front, and obviously the drummer's always in the back. And just for shits and giggles, like Calvin, he got pissed off, something wasn't working for him, so he took off, he went downstairs, and I sat in the back. I sat on the drum kit, and nobody saw me go back there. And so they started playing a song, and I started playing to it. And my dad, he turns around, "Calvin, you got it, good job, son." He turns around, and it's me, and it was me. It was the first time I ever played drums, and I think I was probably 13, 14 years old, and I really didn't do much with it after that, but my dad kind of, he cultivated, I guess, if you would say that.
Right, it was that boost of confidence.
It was that boost,
like,
because I never even thought about it. Like, I know I was driving with him lots, going to work and stuff like that, just on the weekends, and he'd have the music playing or whatever, and I'd be tapping, and I didn't even realize he was watching me, you know, just to see the rhythm, you know, and I was like, I haven't taken many lessons at all. I've taken a few, but none that I would say is, they were all great teachers, but I was just never really good at practicing or anything like that. But that's kind of, and then you get to play in church, and they say, "Oh, we've got another drummer. Oh, you're on the list."
Right.
Even if I don't know anything, you're on the list. You know, so it helped me learn to play with people that were good and people that weren't so good, and it kind of, so it's kind of, and then like I said, I kind of started playing with Byron because he played in church as well, and it's kind of where that went.
So is that where that's how like you two first met, was through church?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And Dustin too, like he's played in church all his life as well.
Yeah.
So we were kind of joking about that Cody was the only one that didn't play in church. You know, he plays the organ. I guess he used to go to competitions all the time with organ, and I was telling Dustin and Cody the other day that, if he was playing in church, man, those old ladies would have just loved him. Oh my God, get out there and start playing, playing some hymns. Oh man, all the old ladies would be loving
Sometimes
him.
I wonder if they're recruiting me or what.
Yeah. Trying to get you to just go to church.
Right.
Yeah.
Drink this purple drink.
Yeah. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. Yeah.
So when did you decide maybe this singing thing is something I could do?
Always sang, man. I've always sang. Played music all my life. That's all I've ever really known. Moved away from here because I thought the music scene was better and somewhere else, which we spoke about.
Yep.
The scene was pretty awesome when I was growing up. Went there for university that just turned into Migo and started a few bands and essentially just party and meet a bunch of musicians, and I enjoyed every minute of it. And got to meet a lot of good people. And like I said, I played a few instruments in different bands, and I still do. And this is just one where vocally I need to step up to the plate, and I'm okay with that.
Man, I think the four of you guys, you guys sound great together. I think like this was the first time, and I think it's just it not only aesthetically, but the way it just fits. I don't know how to say what I'm trying to say.
I have chemistry together.
The chemistry. Thank you. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
It's there. You can see it, and you guys fucking sound amazing. I'm
so much.
I'm a diehard fan now. I truly am. Truly am, man.
So let me finish up because I didn't ask Dustin. When did you start playing bass? When
bass? Wow, that's loaded. I started playing guitar when I was 14. I played guitar for most of my life, actually. Same as Derek. I played,
we played together.
Church, all that kind of stuff. And I had a buddy who played guitar, and he's like, "Well, you play guitar. I need a bass player. Can you play bass?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. I think I can do that." And fell in love with the instrument. Now, what I didn't realize is a lot of the guitar that I was playing, my own personal stuff. Because with Byron, I would learn. What was the first song? Probably "Queen Is in Love" by Malmsteen or something. You tried indoctrinating me into Malmsteen.
He did that to all of us.
various bands and songs, and some of it, very capable. But I can't really remember it. I can't. If you said, "Hey, go play," what was the last one you taught? Dire Straits.
Sultans of Swing.
Sultans of Swing. Learn the whole thing, all the solos, all that kind of stuff. But if you asked me to play that, I wouldn't be able to because it's not necessarily part of my personality. What I realized when I was playing guitar, and this would have been when I was, easily mid-30s when I picked up the bass. I realized I played guitar. Somebody told me that actually. You play guitar like bass, very percussive.
Right.
Okay. Heavy on the bass strings, not necessarily. And that's where within guitar, soloing was always a problem for me. Music didn't make sense until I picked up the bass, and then all of a sudden it started making. There's a portion of again learning and still not happy. I don't want to be. You hit a plateau or whatever, and that's pretty normal for a musician, but. The bass started making music make sense.
Right.
So
it just felt right.
Yeah, little more right. Yeah, definitely. And it's as I've searched after that. Geez, what's that dude's name that you sent me? Dave something or other. Holy. Some of the guys that are out there now, and Les Claypool says this. Bass just happens to be the crayon he picked up to color with, right? And for me, it's the same thing. And Derek will complain about my pedal.
He always does.
He always complains. He complains about my pedal because I've got all kinds of ambient. I'll lay down sound pads, and other bands that I've been with will lay down sound pads and do all kinds of ambient junk and mess around with that. I love that stuff, and then just exploring in that manner. But I'm using the bass to do that.
Yeah.
So it just became the crayon that I colored with. That's all. So
I love that.
Cool. Yeah.
That's good.
He can get a bass sound out of that now too.
Well, we're hoping he finds a pedal that has it.
Wow.
Oh man, it's never gonna end.
Nope.
I'm sorry.
No, I know. It's okay. I'm still waiting for time out of the drummer.
So I'll let you know when I find it.
The name Traitors Gate. I'm curious too. What is that what's the significance of it? Where does it come from? What does it mean?
Traitors Gate is the gate in the Tower of London, England. It was built by Edward I, who was Longshanks. It was built to hold prisoners. They couldn't escape. It was access only by water, and then through a gate, and they were held there usually until they were killed.
Right.
And so a lot of the prisoners that were there weren't really traitors, even though the gate was called Traitors Gate. It was a name that hadn't been used, and it's quite a statement of innocent people had been taken in there and held. And
is that the gate that William Wallace?
William Wallace was his head was put on the stake when he said it there.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's a historical monument.
Right. Very cool.
I get the feeling you're a little bit of a history buff.
I am a bit of a history.
Did you know what it was when he said it?
Well, no, he had to explain it, obviously.
Yeah.
I was like, man, that's a cool name.
It sounds good. I don't care what it means.
So the spelling, I noticed on social media that the apostrophe is at the end.
After
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Is
because it's multiple traitors that were held there.
It's Traitors is.
Traitors is.
It's the.
You'll have to spell this out for Joel because he has a hard time.
I'm an idiot, man. So that, like,
if the apostrophe came before the S, it would mean it was owned by the traitor.
Possessive.
But the apostrophe coming after.
Oh, okay, that
means
makes.
it was
I get
the
it.
holding place for multiple prisoners that were awaiting usually their death. Often, so Longshanks, King Edward I in the 1200s preyed on everyone, especially the Scots, but a lot of his own people too. The English were under his oppression, so it was a dark time in England's history.
Wow. How long ago? Like what year?
1200s. The early 1200s. 1237 to 1280 was his reign. So.
I would have just said the 13th century. That's pretty incredible.
That's good. Yeah, 13th.
That's no, but you pegged the dates.
Yeah. No,
I'm not surprised.
Forget what I said before that.
Was it August? Was it August?
Yeah. Narrow it down specifically.
That was a good year.
Yeah.
Cool August.
Yeah.
Do you have any other
hard-hitting questions?
pressing questions?
No.
No?
I just want to see him play.
I do. You guys, I thank you for joining us. I want you guys to know, thank you for letting us into your home and watching you guys perform. I want you guys to know that you are now a part of the Moose family, officially.
Awesome.
You guys were before, you know that. But this just basically was that stamp of approval. If there's anything that we can do to help promote, anytime you guys want to come back on the show, come and hang out with us. That door's wide open for you.
Play Moose Fest.
Play
Thanks
Moose Fest.
so much. We're so excited to play Moose Fest. Honored.
Oh man,
really
I can't wait for that weekend, dude. It's gonna be so much.
Are you gonna count?
Nope.
When it took him by surprise, and with one pull of the trigger, he would vanish overnight. Dancing by the roadside, holding on for dear life. Then a god from out of nowhere made a widow of his wife. I don't mind. Single file down the runway. faces, how their kids, they loved it so. You can see it on their faces, how they love the wind to blow. Minding my own business, like my mama always said. But if I don't try to help it, I will wind up on the front page. I don't mind. Draw the line, then draw me an arrow. Feeling fine. Then I'll see you, my friend, over and over again. Who can we get on the kiss? We need someone to get you in place. We need Perry-Mason again. Wake me when it's over. Tell me it's alright. Just keep on talking, baby. We'll be doing this all night. How much did you give me? Tell me it'll be alright. And I'll see you, my friend, over and over again. Who can we get on the kiss? We need Perry-Mason, someone to get you in place. Call it Perry-Mason again.
Hell yeah.